Welcome to the Ultimate General Hospital channel. Secrets are exploding. Shocking betrayals are changing lives, and Port Charles is on the brink of chaos. From heartbreaking romances and deadly enemies to jaw-dropping spoilers and wild theories, we cover every twist you can't afford to miss. Subscribe now and join us as we dive into the drama, mystery, and unforgettable moments of General Hospital. As someone who has followed every twist and turn in this beloved town, I find myself sitting a little closer to the screen these days, wondering what the writers have in store for our favorite characters. There is a certain warmth and familiarity in seeing old faces come back, but this time it feels different, more charged with possibility. The way Vaughn reappeared has already started shifting the dynamics in surprising ways. I particularly loved the scene where Molly stepped in as the legal advisor for both Danny and Charlotte during their meeting with him at the PCPD interrogation room. It was such a natural fit for her character. Molly has always been level-headed and protective, especially when it comes to the younger ones in the community. Watching her guide Danny and Charlotte as they tried to learn more about Jason and Valentine showed just how much she cares. The kids were clearly anxious for answers, but Vaughn kept his mouth tightly shut. He did not share any new details, which only added to the tension and mystery. That restraint felt so true to the kind of man he is, professional, careful, and perhaps carrying burdens of his own. What really caught my attention, though, was the moment after the formal meeting when Molly spoke with Vaughn privately. She was thinking about the children's peace of mind more than anything else. Her suggestion of a simple phone call or even a letter from him to help reassure Danny and Charlotte was so touching. It showed her compassion and practical nature all at once. And Vaughn? He listened carefully and agreed to see what he could do. There was a quiet spark in that exchange, something subtle but undeniable. I've seen many pairings develop over the decades on this show, and this one already feels like it is being gently tested for chemistry. The way they looked at each other, the respectful tone, and the shared concern for the younger generation, it all left me wondering if the writers are preparing something meaningful. Of course, right now Molly seems content with Cody. They have had their sweet moments, and I have enjoyed watching her smile more often lately, yet I cannot help but feel a sense of unease because of the secrets Cody is carrying. The revelation about what happened with Alexis and Rick in that basement is deeply troubling. It is the kind of bombshell that has the power to shake the foundation of any relationship. Molly values honesty above almost everything else, and I believe when she eventually learns the full truth, it will hurt her profoundly. I have seen this pattern before in Port Charles. Hidden truths always find their way into the light, and they rarely end without pain. This brings me to an interesting question I keep asking myself. Could Vaughn's return be the beginning of a new chapter for Molly? Many longtime fans like me have noticed how the show sometimes plants seeds early, letting us watch the slow build of attraction and trust. Vaughn and Molly seem to complement each other in ways that feel fresh. She brings warmth and legal sharpness, while he carries that steady, enigmatic presence of someone who has seen the darker sides of life. If the writers decide to explore this further, it could create a compelling new romance that pushes Cody aside. I am not saying Cody is a bad person at heart, but his secrets are piling up like storm clouds, and Molly deserves someone who can be open with her. In my opinion, this potential shift represents one of those exciting explosions the show does so well. We have watched Molly grow through heartbreak and professional success, and pairing her with Vaughn might give her a chance at a different kind of happiness, one built on mutual respect and shared responsibility rather than just youthful passion. I remember how other storylines, like those involving long-lost connections or returning allies, have transformed characters in beautiful ways. This feels similar, yet distinct, because of the careful way they are building the interactions. It is not rushed or overly dramatic yet, which makes me trust the direction even more. Let me be honest with you. As someone who has cheered and cried with these characters for decades, I feel a little protective of Molly. She has already faced enough challenges in her life. Seeing her navigate this situation with Danny and Charlotte shows her strength, but I also sense her vulnerability. What if Vaughn becomes the steady hand she needs? What if his willingness to help the children becomes the bridge to something deeper between them? These are the kinds of questions that keep me coming back episode after episode. The show has a wonderful way of making us care so deeply about the outcomes. At the same time, I do not want to dismiss Cody entirely. He has brought energy and humor to Molly's life, and their relationship has had genuine warmth. But secrets, like the one involving Alexis and Rick, are too heavy to ignore. I have seen too many times when withheld truths destroy even the strongest bonds in Port Charles. If Molly discovers everything, I suspect she will pull away. And that is when Vaughn's presence could become even more significant. The writers seem to be laying groundwork for real emotional conflict, and I, for one, am here for it. It reminds me of some of the great love triangles from years past, but with modern depth and more layered characters. One thing I particularly appreciate is how the show continues to weave the younger generation into these adult stories. Danny and Charlotte's involvement makes everything feel connected and meaningful. They are not just background characters. Their need for reassurance about Jason and Valentine pulls Molly deeper into this new interaction with Vaughn. It creates natural opportunities for more scenes between them, and I find myself looking forward to every single one. Will we see that promised phone call or letter? How will it affect the children? And more importantly, how will it affect the growing connection between Molly and Vaughn? I truly believe we are witnessing the early stages of something special. The chemistry test feels real, and the contrast with Cody's hidden troubles only heightens the drama. As a devoted viewer who has watched this show through countless eras, I can say with confidence that these kinds of slow burn developments often lead to the most satisfying payoffs. Molly deserves happiness. Whether it stays with Cody or evolves into something new with Vaughn, either path will bring rich storytelling, but I must admit I am leaning toward the excitement of the unknown. The beauty of General Hospital has always been its ability to surprise us while staying true to the hearts of its characters. Vaughn's return is injecting fresh energy into the canvas, and Molly's central role in these scenes makes it all the more compelling. I find myself talking about these episodes with fellow fans my age, comparing notes on what we think will happen next. Most of us agree that change is coming, and it feels both inevitable and thrilling. Of course, nothing is certain in Port Charles, and that is part of the magic. Will Cody's secrets come out sooner rather than later? How will Molly react when the full truth emerges? And could Vaughn truly step in as a new romantic interest, creating one of those memorable pairings that longtime viewers cherish for years? I believe the answers are unfolding right now, and I cannot wait to see where the writers take us. This current storyline reminds me why I have stayed loyal to the show for so long. It balances mystery, romance, family concerns, and personal growth so skillfully. Molly's quiet conversation with Vaughn may have seemed small on the surface, but it carried the weight of future possibilities. I am genuinely excited to watch it all play out, one heartfelt scene at a time. There is a certain comfort in knowing that even after all these years, General Hospital can still make my heart race with anticipation. Vaughn's presence has opened new doors, and Molly stands at the threshold. Whatever direction the story takes, I will be right here, cheering for the characters I have come to love like old friends. The best part is knowing that more surprises and emotional moments are just around the corner, waiting to unfold in the coming weeks. Jocelyn has always been a fiery, passionate character who wears her heart on her sleeve. She has faced her share of heartbreaks over the years, but this situation with Vaughn feels particularly raw. From what we are seeing, there was some kind of connection or expectation between them, and his actions, whatever they truly were, have left her feeling deeply betrayed. I can see the hurt in her eyes during those quiet moments, and it reminds me so much of the younger Jocelyn who fought hard for love, but often paid a heavy emotional price. The way she is processing this betrayal is creating ripples that are affecting not just her personal happiness, but also the relationships around her. This new trouble feels like it is building towards something explosive. Vaughn's presence in Port Charles was already complicating Molly's world, but now it is intersecting with Jocelyn's story in ways that could create real conflict. Is it possible that his sense of duty or his secretive nature led to decisions that hurt Jocelyn? I keep asking myself whether this betrayal was intentional or simply a casualty of the larger situations he is involved in. Either way, Jocelyn's growing anger is palpable, and I worry it could lead her down a difficult path. We have seen her make impulsive choices in the past when her trust has been broken, and this time the stakes seem especially high. What fascinates me is how the writers are weaving these threads together. Vaughn's return is not just bringing potential romance for one character, but creating complications across multiple storylines. For Jocelyn, this adjustment in her love life feels like a turning point. She deserves someone who is honest and steady, yet here she is again facing deception. I truly hope she finds the strength to navigate this storm without losing herself. At the same time, part of me wonders if this anger will push her to grow even stronger, or if it will pull her into new alliances that surprise us all.